Hello and welcome to DFS Coach Talk. I am your host, Josh Davis, also known as Crash. Today is Monday, January 16th, 2023, and I am here to go over today's MLK Day special slate for the NBA. We've got games all throughout the whole day. The first game just tipped off a few minutes ago, the Boston Celtics and Charlotte Hornets. We're not going to be able to get to that game today, of course, with it already starting. But we do have a full day of action in the NBA. If you're new to DFS Coach Talk, if you would hit the like button and then hit subscribe. If you haven't joined us yet, we have a special going on right now, kicking off with the NFL playoffs. It's a free week's trial for DFS Coach Talk, so we hope you join. I will have that link posted in the comment section here shortly, so make sure you definitely take advantage of that. We would love to have you. And with that being said, today we've got the way the slate's broke down. You have 7 games on FanDuel. It starts at 2:30 p.m. Eastern. 5 games on DraftKings. It starts at 3 p.m. Eastern. And then 7 games on YAHOO that starts at 3 p.m. Eastern. So there's a lot going on. It's kind of confusing, but I'm going to hopefully make it a little bit easier to understand as we go here. So the first game we have is going to be at 1:30 p.m. Eastern. It's the Milwaukee Bucks hosting the Indiana Pacers. Milwaukee is favored by – that's changed. Let me see what the updated numbers are here. I still show Milwaukee favored as 9.5. That can't be right. They had to have changed that. But anyway, they haven't updated that, I guess. Game has a 233 over under. The big news here is that Giannis is out for Milwaukee. For the Pacers, they've got Goga Bitadze is questionable. Miles Turner is a game time decision. Tyrese Halliburton is out. So that's big for the Pacers. And then for the Bucks, as I mentioned, Giannis is out. Joe Ingles is also out, as is Chris Middleton still, and Serge Ibaka. Projected starting lineup for the Pacers, you've got Andrew Nembhard, Benedict Mathurin, Buddy Hield, Aaron Naismith, and then they have Miles Turner, but I don't think he's going to start. So it's probably going to be Isaiah Jackson. For the Bucks, you've got Drew Holiday, Grayson Allen, Pat Connaughton, Bobby Portis, and Brook Lopez. So with this game, Giannis being ruled out, basically I'm looking at quite a few of the Bucks, a few of the Pacers too. TJ McConnell's been playing really well with Tyrese Halliburton out of the lineup, so I like him. Same thing for Buddy Hield, Benedict Mathurin. I like them. Miles Turner is out. You can definitely look at Isaiah Jackson. He's 4,800. Remember, this game is only on FanDuel. So he's 4,800. He's scored 40.5 and 35.9 fantasy points in his last 2 games with Miles Turner out. So I do like Isaiah Jackson for sure if Turner's ruled out. Probably not going to go to him, though, if Turner plays. And then for the Bucks, Drew Holiday, he's averaged 49.8 fantasy points the last 5 times he's faced Indiana. He's 8,000 on FanDuel. Brook Lopez is 6,600. Indiana's allowed the 4th most fantasy points to centers. Lopez has been playing really well. Is having a really good season, so I definitely like him. Grayson Allen, 4,600. The Pacers have allowed the 4th most fantasy points to shooting guards. Pat Connaughton, 4,900. They've allowed the 3rd most to small forwards. And then Bobby Portis, with Giannis being out, 6,900. A little pricey, but still a good play with Giannis being out. Next game, we have the New Orleans Pelicans at the Cleveland Cavaliers. Cleveland is favored by 7, has a 222.5 over under. Herb Jones is questionable for the Pelicans. Brandon Ingram, EJ Liddell, and Zion Williamson are out. Dylan Windler is a game time decision for Cleveland, and Dean Wade is out. Projected starting lineup for the Pelicans, you've got CJ McCollum, Trey Murphy, Herb Jones if he plays, Najee Marshall, Jonas Valanciunas. For the Cavaliers, Darius Garland, Donovan Mitchell, Isaac Okoro, Evan Mobley, and Jared Allen. For this game, my favorite plays for the Pelicans, Jonas Valanciunas has been playing really well lately. He scored 43-plus DraftKings points in 3 of his last 4 games. He had 59.5 DraftKings points on Friday against Detroit. So it's a little tough matchup, but I do still like Jonas Valanciunas, especially on DraftKings where he's 6,800, $26 on Yahoo. So I like him on those two sites. And then Valanciunas is 7,400 on FanDuel. So I may not get to him over there. It's basically the same price as Rudy Gobert, which I'm going to get to him in a minute. But if he plays, I definitely like him more than Valanciunas. Let me check the comments real quick. All right. So, and then on the Cleveland side, not really anybody that I came up with that I actually like on this this game. This game has a lower over/under. Not one of my favorite games. Probably just going to be Valanciunas or pass. So we can go ahead and move on to the next game. 3 p.m. Eastern, Toronto Raptors, New York Knicks. This game has the lowest over/under on the slate, but I do like a few of the plays here. It's a 218 over/under. The Knicks are favored by 2. Fred VanVleet is questionable, so actually it looks like he will play. So that news just came out. Okay, so VanVleet will play, and looks like everybody's healthy for the Knicks. So you got 2 healthy teams here: VanVleet, Trent, OG Anunoby, Scotty Barnes, Pascal Siakam for Toronto, Jalen Brunson, Quentin Grimes, RJ Barrett, Julius Randle, Mitchell Robinson for the Knicks. For me in this matchup, if you watched when these teams played a couple weeks ago on January 6th, I talked about VanVleet. He's had really good success against the Knicks. He scored 50.8 DraftKings points his last 7 games against them. He had 55.5 against them on January 6th. So I definitely like VanVleet with him playing. Siakam had a monster game against the Knicks on December 21st, but then they held him to 41.3 the last time they played on January 6th. So you could look at him, but he's not what I would say a must play, but he's still in play. He's 10,000 on DraftKings, 9,900 on FanDuel, $42 on Yahoo. And then VanVleet, he's 7,600 on DraftKings, 8,200 on FanDuel, and $28 on Yahoo. The only other thing I'll mention for the Raptors is that Scotty Barnes has been playing really well lately, but he's struggled very much. He's struggled a lot in both matchups against the Knicks this year, so I'm going to not be playing him today. For the Knicks, Julius Randle, he's 10-3 on DraftKings, 9,800 on FanDuel, $44 on Yahoo. He's averaged right around 53 DraftKings points in both games against the Raptors this year. He's averaged 58.7 DraftKings points his last 10 games. Had a real nice game on yesterday, actually, against Detroit with 71.8 DraftKings points. So you could definitely look at Julius Randle. I also like Jalen Brunson. He's averaging just under 50 DraftKings points per game into the month of January. He's 8,500 on DraftKings, 8,900 on FanDuel, $34 on Yahoo. And then Mitchell Robinson on January 6th, he had 38 DraftKings points. And for his price, he's 5,300 on DraftKings and 21 on Yahoo. 6,300 on FanDuel. He's a little pricey over there. But on DraftKings and Yahoo, you could definitely look at Mitchell Robinson. The next game, we have the Golden State Warriors and the Washington Wizards. Starts at 3 p.m. Eastern. Golden State is favored by 3. Has a 235 over/under. For the Warriors, Klay Thompson and Andre Iguodala, Jonathan Kuminga, James Wiseman, and JaMychal Green are out. And then for the Wizards, Bradley Beal is out. So you have a projected starting lineup here for the Warriors: Stephen Curry, Jordan Poole, Andrew Wiggins, Draymond Green, and Kevon Looney. For the Wizards, Monte Morris, Corey Kispert, Kyle Kuzma, Kristaps Porzingis, and Daniel Gafford. There's not a whole lot that I like in this game either. I know it has a higher over/under, but I'm just not really feeling the matchups here. I do like Andrew Wiggins with Klay Thompson out. He's 6,600 on DraftKings, 7,000 on FanDuel, and $25 on Yahoo. But so far, with the news and everything that's come out, that's the only play that I have in this game. Don't really like anybody on the Washington side. Porzingis and Kuzma haven't had a lot of success against the Warriors, and those are the 2 plays that I would look at, especially with Bradley Beal out for the scoring for Washington, but it just hasn't been there. So We'll move on to the next game, Miami Heat and the Atlanta Hawks, 3:30 p.m. Eastern start time. The Heat are favored by 1, has a 223 over under. For Miami, you have Udonis Haslem is probable. Caleb Martin is the game time decision. And then Jovic, Lowry, Robinson, Yurtseven are out. Trae Young is questionable for the no, they've upgraded him to probable. Okay, so Trae Young's probable, so he should play. And then Clint Capella, I'm thinking he's probably going to be out. He's listed as questionable, but actually says he will play. So we'll see what happens there. That would definitely affect Okongwu, of course. For the Heat, their projected starting lineup, we've got Gabe Vincent, Tyler Hero, Caleb Martin, Jimmy Butler, Bam Adebayo. For the Hawks, Trae Young, DeJounte Murray, DeAndre Hunter, John Collins, and Clint Capella. If he starts, he's projected to start. So we'll see what happens there. I like Gabe Vincent, the way he's been playing lately. Tyler Hero is back, so that's going to hurt him a little bit. So the main play I'm looking at on the Miami side is Bam Adebayo. He's 8,700 on DraftKings and FanDuel, $35 on Yahoo. The Hawks have allowed the 6th most fantasy points to centers, the 3rd most to power forwards. He's kind of a hybrid, but they've struggled with both positions. So I do like Bam Adebayo. For the Hawks, I'm fading Trae Young. The Heat have allowed the 5th fewest fantasy points to point guards this year, and I just think that he's going to struggle against their defense. So I will be fading Trae Young, and that's really it. All I have for this game. Has one of the lower over-unders, and just kind of like the Warriors and Wizards, just not a lot of matchups that I like. Let me go ahead and check the chat. Okay. Don't see any more questions. The next game, we have the Utah Jazz and the Minnesota Timberwolves. This game starts at 4 p.m. Eastern. Minnesota is favored by 2, a 234.5 over-under, so one of the higher over-unders on the slate. The news for the Jazz is that Lauri Markkanen is questionable, so we'll have to see if he plays. Rudy Gay is questionable as well. And then for the Timberwolves, both Anthony Edwards and Rudy Gobert are questionable, so that's pretty big for them, of course. And then Prince, McLaughlin, and Towns are supposed to be out. Projected starting lineup for the Jazz, Mike Conley, Jordan Clarkson, Lauri Markkanen if he plays, Jared Vanderbilt, and Walker Kessler. For the Timberwolves, D'Angelo Russell, Anthony Edwards if he plays, Jaden McDaniels, Kyle Anderson, and Rudy Gobert if he plays. So for this game, we're going to have to keep an eye, and we're really going to have to keep an eye. That's what I want to mention. Throughout the whole day, with this many games over this much time throughout the day, we're going to have to keep an eye on Discord, and we'll give you the latest updates on any players that are ruled out and everything. But that's going to be key for this whole slate, because you've got going from 3 p.m. Eastern all the way up until I think the last game starts at like 10 p.m. Eastern. So a lot of news that we'll have to keep an eye on. For the Jazz, I like Malik Beasley, not just because it's a revenge game, but Minnesota has struggled with small forwards. He had 35.5 DraftKings points against Minnesota on December 9th. He's 5,000 on DraftKings, 5,400 on FanDuel, $13 on Yahoo. And then for Minnesota, if Gobert or Anthony Edwards or both are out, I definitely like D'Angelo Russell. He's 6,700 on DraftKings, 6,500 on FanDuel, $27 on Yahoo. And then if Gobert plays, I definitely like him. Utah's allowed the 2nd most fantasy points to centers. Of course, you have the revenge narrative here against his former team. He's 7,400 on DraftKings, 7,500 on FanDuel, and $28 on Yahoo. If Gobert is out, Naz Reid will be in play. He's 4,900 on DraftKings, 5,200 on FanDuel, and $10 on Yahoo. But that's only if Gobert is out. If Gobert plays, definitely like him. And then if Edwards is out, I definitely like Russell. And, of course, if both are out, Edwards and Gobert, then Russell would definitely be one of my top plays. The next game we have, and this game is only on FanDuel and Yahoo. It's at 6 p.m. Eastern. It's the Phoenix Suns and the Memphis Grizzlies. Memphis is favored by 10.5. Phoenix has a ton of injuries that they're dealing with, and they've really been struggling lately. So Memphis is a big favorite here. The 229.5 over under. Landry Shaman is a game time decision. Devin Booker, Jay Crowder, Cam Johnson, Chris Paul, and Cameron Payne are all out for the Suns. For Memphis, John Conchar and John Morant are game time decisions. I think Morant's supposed to play. He's questionable. Okay. And then Danny Green is out for Memphis. So the projected starting lineup for this game, you have Dwayne Washington, Landry Shamet if he plays, Mikal Bridges, Torrey Craig, DeAndre Ayton for Phoenix, Ja Morant if he plays, Desmond Bane, Dylan Brooks, Jaren Jackson Jr., Steven Adams for Memphis. Obviously, this game is going to come down to whether or not Ja Morant plays for me. If he doesn't play, Tyus Jones, 5,900 on FanDuel, $21 on Yahoo. Definitely one of the top plays for point guard position if Morant's ruled out. Desmond Bane, 7,200 on FanDuel, $28 on Yahoo. Jaren Jackson, 8,100 on FanDuel, $35 on Yahoo. Those would be my top plays for the Grizzlies. And then for Phoenix, Dwayne Washington would be in play. He's 5,900 on FanDuel, $15 on Yahoo. Last time he faced the Grizzlies, he had the second best game of his career. Don't necessarily expect him to have that big of a game this time, but I do like him. And same thing with Torrey Craig. He had a nice game against him last time. He's been playing pretty well of late in general. 5,500 on FanDuel and $15 on Yahoo. And that takes us to the last game on the slate at 10:30 p.m. Eastern, so 4.5 hours after the Suns-Grizzlies game starts. Crazy. Houston Rockets and Los Angeles Lakers. The Lakers are favored by 5.5. Has a 236, which is, I believe, the highest over-under on this slate. Pretty sure. Let me check. Yeah, it is. And for the Rockets, Kevin Porter Jr. is a game-time decision. Looks like he's he's ruled out. No, he's okay. Never mind. That was for yesterday's game. He is a game-time decision. And then for the Lakers, of course, Anthony Davis, Austin Reeves, and Lonnie Walker are out. Patrick Beverley didn't play yesterday, so he's questionable today. For the Rockets, their projected starting lineup, if Kevin Porter Jr. plays, he is projected to start Jalen Green, Eric Gordon, Jabari Smith Jr., and Alperen Sengun. For the Lakers, Dennis Schroeder, Patrick Beverley if he plays, Juan Toscano Anderson, LeBron, and Thomas Bryant. In this game, there are a few plays that I like for sure. Again, this is only on Yahoo. Jalen Green, the Lakers have allowed the third most fantasy points to point guards this year. Now, if Kevin Porter Jr. plays, I'm not as high on Jalen Green, of course, but assuming that Porter's still out, I definitely like Jalen Green. I also like Sengun. He's $22. Lakers have allowed the third most fantasy points to centers, so I like that matchup for sure. LeBron, of course, he's going to be in the lineup. So with AD out, you can always play LeBron. He's averaged 55.1 fantasy points the last 5 times he's faced Houston, so I definitely think he's one of the top plays on this slate. And Russell Westbrook, the Rockets have allowed the most fantasy points to point guards this year, so I definitely like Russell Westbrook. And that is it for the slates today. The free week works, I believe, just like it sounds. You just sign up for 7 days, and then you can either cancel it, or if you want to renew a membership, you can start a new membership. I believe that's how that works. We would definitely love to have you in there, Saruji. For the PrizePicks plays of the day, one of them I'm for sure playing. It's Jalen Brunson, more than 39.5 fantasy score. He's averaged 48.9 his last 5 games. If they put Fred VanVleet, that's what I've been waiting on. If they put that up there, I'm looking to see what his number is going to be. Let me check one more time because when I checked right before the show, he wasn't on here. But if they put him on here, I'm probably going to be playing more than on his fantasy score, depending on what they put it at. He's still not up there. So for now, I'll just go with LeBron more than 54.5 is my other top PrizePicks play. There'll probably be some others that I like more that'll be put up throughout the day, so you can keep an eye on that in our Discord. Once again, if you haven't joined us, we would love to have you join us at dfscoachtalk.com. We're doing our free week right now for the NFL playoff special, just to celebrate with Wild Card Weekend. We started doing it on Friday, I believe, so you can join right now for a full week for free. Love to have you join us. Hope everybody has a great Monday. Let me know in the Discord if you guys have any other questions about lineups or anything. Like I said, keep an eye on the news throughout the day because that's going to be crucial. And then tonight, Steve and I will be posting our lineups for the Cowboys and Buccaneers Monday Night Football game as well. So hope everybody has a great Monday, and we'll be back again tomorrow when we look to crush it in NBA, DFS, and PrizePicks. Thank you.